Hey guys, it's Jill from the Prairie Homestead, and I want to welcome you to the Prairie Homestead. I'm doing a little bit of a video today just to give you a tour of our place, show you the animals in the garden and the barnyard. So I'm starting out here in our lower pasture with our cows. You can see right up front is our big mama Hereford cow, and then behind her is Oakley, our milk cow, and then their two calves are right there. I'm going to get run over because of the dog here. Powder likes to harass them. That's Powder. So we bred them to a black Angus bull this year, and that's why they have black calves. So they're hanging out here. It's about 6:30 in the morning. They're hanging out here in the nice wet grass, and it's going to be a good day. So there's the part of our cow herd. I'm going to take you back up to the barn and show you the rest. Okay, so you can see where I just came from. I walked from down there where the cows are. You can see them in the distance. And then I walked over there. There's my shadow. And then back up at our barn with the rest of the animals. There's our steer. We'll be putting him in the freezer in a couple months, so he's out here getting a drink. There's Annie, one of our horses, and the famous goats, or as my daughter calls them, the goats. There's our barn. The barn was built in the 1950s, I believe. It's a cinder block barn. It was pretty rough when we bought it. The roof had to be completely replaced. We repainted it, did new trim, new doors. But it's pretty nice now. It's a good place for the animals to hang out in the winter. And the log corrals were kind of the same thing. When we bought the property, it was actually a pheasant farm. It had these tumble down pens that were made out of logs and chicken wire, and so we tore them down and turned the logs into these corrals instead. So they're nice for the animals and pretty safe. So I'm going to go walk through the gate and show you inside the barn. So the horses and the goats mostly hang out together. The goats kind of think they are a horse, so they hang out. They're pretty good friends. Sometimes they go out to graze, and sometimes they just hang out in the barn, especially in the heat of the day. If it's hot, they'll come and stand here in the barnyard and go into the barn. We'll take you into the barn here. It's going to be dark for a minute. So there we go. So the pigs are still in their bed, but I'm going to let them out here shortly and let them run around. The chickens are pretty much out all the time. We don't really have predator problems here, and so they go in their coop at night, but they're out during the day. Hey pigs, want to be on camera? Pigs are really funny. I really enjoy having them. They have a lot of personality. Very curious. So we have just another pen over there. That's where the goats stand sometimes, or if we have a sick animal or something like that, they'll go in there. And then there's my concrete pad that I usually milk the cow on. So, okay, here, this is the other half of our barn. You can see we have some hay storage and barbed wire, and of course Powder is into everything. No matter where I am, he is there. And just some tools and stuff where I keep my different supplements in the feed. So, the other part's the animal part, this part is the storage part. On the side of our barn, I'll show you over here. Here's our barn. See, I'm on the other side from where the animals were standing. So over here is a shed we built last summer. It was a really big project, but we needed something to store vehicles and tractor in, keep the hail off of them. So there's our tractor and the pickup, and the birds are in there. They spend a lot of time in there. It's kind of a glorified chicken coop now. And next to this big building is the actual chicken coop. It wasn't always red and pretty. Actually, when we bought it, had plywood siding that was nasty and peeling, and it was yellow and really gross looking. So a couple years ago, we re-sided it and fixed the soffit and painted everything, and it's much nicer now and a little more insulated for the birds. So I'll go take you inside. Okay, I'm inside the chicken coop, and these are the girls in the nesting boxes. It looks like I forgot to get the eggs yesterday, so we have a lot. Need to grab those. So they hang out here when they're laying an egg, otherwise they're outside. And everyone does sleep on the roost at night, or on the feed bucket like that one. Got a water thing hanging from the ceiling, but they've not been here a lot, just usually if they're laying an egg. Okay, this is the other part of our chicken coop. The chickens are just behind me, so I just walked through the little door. I have some of my extra little stuff here, some different supplements, and this is the storage area. And then around this door you can see my big stack of feed. Pretty excited about this. We finally found another feed mill who is willing to mix up my custom recipe that I have in my Natural Homestead book for corn-free and soy-free, GMO-free feed. So it's whole grain. The roosters inside now. It's whole grain, and I'm excited to have it again, so we have a big pile. So I'm going to take you back outside and show you around a little bit more. Okay, so I came out the door and I had the goose and our other rooster and the turkeys. Whoa, hello turkey. Coming to see what I was up to. The little white rooster, he's kind of our outcast rooster. He's the less dominant of the two, so he's kind of banned to hang out on his own. And there's our goose, who poops a lot and gets into trouble. And the turkeys, I think, are right behind me here. Turkey, turkey, where are you? There they are. The turkeys are just really cool. They're super friendly, and they were some of the nicest birds I think we've ever had. They're only a couple months old, already pretty good size, and they will be Thanksgiving dinner, but they're fun for now anyway. Okay, I walked over here to our garden, which is on the side of the chicken coop. As you know from the blog, I've been doing a deep mulch method this year, and so I covered the whole garden in a really deep layer of hay and then spread the hay and put the seeds in the dirt. So we've had a couple sprouting already, so far so good. I'm really happy with the results so far, even though we just started. The ground is moister. I'm already having to water less. We'll just see how it goes as the weeds get a little stronger. So I'm hopeful though. Okay, so that's the garden. We do have it surrounded by a fence. Because the chickens will destroy it and the dogs destroy it and everything, so that's their protection. I'm going to take you around here and show you the strawberries over here. This is our little bit of a view into our backyard. Got some trees, these are some old trees, and I'm really thankful to have them because trees are a luxury out here on the prairie. So, okay, here's our strawberry patch. Don't have a huge patch yet, but it's mulched with straw. I'm not sure if you can see that because of the light, but it's mulched with straw as well, and they're doing pretty well this year. We'll get at least a handful of berries. Okay, I walked up here. You can see there's our chicken coop, the barn, the cows rear end. Over here was the garden, and now I'm over here in the side yard. We have our lilac bush. I love lilacs. It's kind of had a weird year. The top part's a little late, and the bottom part bloomed early, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Out here you can see the view to the east. It's all farmland, ranch land. I'm pointing you into the sun, I'm sorry. Okay. Over here's our raspberry patch. It's been in there for a couple of years. We put that in. We've got a couple handfuls of berries every year. Hopefully we'll get more this year and it'll keep producing more. I do need to prune it. Wow, that grass really came up between those bushes, so that needs a little work, but there's our deck, and I think I have a child who is whining. There she is. Where'd she go? She's saying, why aren't you feeding me breakfast? Why are you walking around outside with a video camera? So, okay, so basically that's just what our homestead looks like on an early morning in June. Thanks for walking around with me. I hope I didn't make you sick with my shaky video skills. So, we'll see you around the blog.